Syria's foreign minister says his government will take part in peace talks in Geneva and claims they want the dialogue to help form a national unity government. This in a country where the murderous dictator Bashar al-Assad has waged war against his own citizens for years. We're also now hearing the Obama administration has been in secret communications with people inside Assad's regime for years. That's according to the Wall Street Journal, which interviewed current and former U.S. officials as well as Arab officials and diplomats. The newspaper reports at one point U.S. intelligence officials tried to find military officers inside Syria who could lead a potential coup against Assad. Needless to say, that did not work out. He's still there. Joining us now, former CIA military analyst Tara Maller. She's currently a research fellow at the International Security Program at New America. It describes itself as a think tank that delivers impartial analysis. So these backdoor negotiations sounds like something that wouldn't happen very often. You say it actually happens more than we know.
It does actually happen quite a bit before an administration goes public in terms of talking with certain leaders or groups. Back-channel negotiations are quite common. This happened to lay the foundations with Iran. This has happened with Libya, with Gaddafi, when he relinquished WMD. This is how backdoor communication channels tend to open up.
But why not do it, in more of a public way?
There are a few reasons. A lot of times when an administration chooses to engage with a not-so-great actor, a rogue regime, or a hostile state, they get criticized for appeasement or they get criticized for being weak. Unfairly, you need to talk to most states, whether they have leaders we don't like or not, I think. But a lot of times the administration can test the waters. They can get information this way. So there's a lot of reasons they might want to do a backdoor negotiation rather than go public at the start.
It's got to be tough to send the feelers out to people inside, for instance, the Assad regime and say, hey, would you like to help knock this guy out of power?
It is. I mean, in this case, some of the backdoor negotiations were with other people. Some of them, I think, were more directly with Assad and his associates. Some of them have been more recent in terms of coordination because of our military activities there through Samantha Power, our ambassador to the UN. So it seems like these have taken a variety of forms over the past couple of years, and I don't think it's that unusual. It didn't work in this case because Syria got worse, and there are other problems with the way the administration, I think, responded after the backdoor negotiations didn't come to fruition in terms of their goals, but it is quite common, and just because it fails doesn't mean you shouldn't try it first.
So your criticism is not that they tried it, but that maybe they didn't handle it particularly well.
Exactly. Well, after they failed, they were still a little bit slow on their Syria policy. The humanitarian situation got a lot worse very quickly. Obama made a red line speech about chemical weapons, and we lost some credibility on that. So there were some problems after that, but I don't think they should be criticized for trying some backdoor talks first. You can get a lot of intelligence and information by talking to members of a government you don't like. So even if the diplomacy fails, there's other benefits to engaging, and even coercive benefits, in order to know how to punish or where to go after different members or where to go after different sites. That can all be gleaned through talking. And
this whole thing just shows us, what we're at loggerheads with the Russians. I mean, they are bound and determined to keep Bashar al-Assad in power. Here we are conducting negotiations to try to get a coup to throw the guy out.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, we did see a UN resolution with Russian support last week, but the Russians and the United States, obviously some areas of disagreement. Everyone's agreed we need a peace plan in place going forward. 18 months, I think they're saying, might be a little optimistic, but it is a good sign that we at least got everybody to unanimously agree to a resolution. I mean, it's a better start than we could have hoped for, given the conflicting interests.
And could that stem the refugee crisis?
I mean, this is going to take a while. It's complicated. I think, Secretary Kerry said it best. He said, this is not a gilded path, but it's what you need to happen. So it's going to be complicated. The refugees are probably the hardest part of the situation. Millions of people displaced internally and externally out of Syria, hundreds of thousands killed. And, that's going to be a tough situation to fix, immediately. But all these things need to happen. A peace plan needs to be in place in order if we're going to ever see a better outcome for the future of Syria.
Tara Maller, thank you.
Thank you.